Sa ginanap na pagdinig ng Committee on Foreign Relations nito lamang March 20 na pinangunahan ni Senator Amy Marcos, humingi siya ng paglilinaw mula sa mga opisyal ng Pilipinas matapos ang pag-aresto kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte dahil sa umano'y mga krimen laban sa sangkatauhan. Pinagdududahan kasi ni Senator Amy Marcos ang pag-aresto at paglipat kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa Netherlands sa bisa ng warrant na inisyu ng International Criminal Court o ICC na nagsiyasat sa dating Pangulo para sa mga pagpatay sa panahon ng kanyang administrasyon sa digmaan kontra droga. Iginiit niya na ang ICC ay walang jurisdiksyon sa Pilipinas. Pero paglilinaw naman ng mga opisyal ng Pilipinas, matapos nilang maipit, matapang ang kanilang naging revelasyon. Panoorin, pakinggang mabuti at kayo na ang bahalang humusga. Ngunit bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag kalimutang i-like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates and for more upcoming videos. Maraming salamat.
Let me just pursue the question of the international humanitarian law being customary law. Since procedural and administrative matters do not fall under customary law, ICC processes, therefore, are not part and parcel.
Madam Chair, the distinction of the ICC process of issuing a warrant of arrest is something accepted through a treaty, the International Police Organization.
You have just contradicted yourself, sir. You said it was customary, and now you're saying it's by treaty.
We can be very technical about it, ma'am.
Sorry.
But we can be very technical about it if you wish to be. But the fact is, it is our accession to the Interpol which made all of this possible.
We will go to the Interpol later. Let us discuss the ICC at this juncture. So, while I will go with you for the sake of argument that the IHL, or International Humanitarian Law, has now become accepted as part of international customary law, I am unable to accept that ICC processes and administrative procedures as well are now part of customary law. I don't think so.
The processes are not part of customary law. We have our own administrative processes. If you ask me about this, Madam, we can say that the IHL is the domestic law that we followed in recognizing the warrant of arrest issued against Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Which domestic law and process did
Republic Act 9851, Your Honor.
as mentioned previously?
Yes, as mentioned previously, and within the provisions allows us two options, either extradition or surrender. We chose the executive mode, which is surrender.
We will go to that later, but at this juncture, therefore I get an acceptance from the Secretary that in fact the processes that should have prevailed should have been those stipulated under RA 9851 or our own local law.
We follow the process, ma'am.
Thank you. So that's correct. On the same day, if I may proceed, the President also said, I do not see what its jurisdiction is, referring once again to the ICC. Can we bring back the video? I think there is a statement there. I feel that we have in our police and judiciary a good system. We do not need assistance from any outside entity. Again, as part of the executive department, you have subscribed to this view, I assume.
Yes, Madam.
So to clarify, the statement means that the President was not recognizing the jurisdiction of the ICC over the crimes allegedly committed by the former President. Is that correct?
We do not recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC over our country. What we recognize is the jurisdiction of the ICC over individuals who may have violated international humanitarian law by committing murder and other heinous crimes.
If I may, I think the President was referring to the jurisdiction of the ICC over crimes, specifically crimes committed by PRRD. Isn't that so?
Can you rephrase your question, ma'am?
Well, you said that While the ICC has no jurisdiction over the Philippines as a state, it maintains jurisdiction over individuals and crimes under
Yes,
the
ma'am.
international humanitarian order.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. What the president said is that there is no jurisdiction over the crimes committed by the former president
Well,
because we have a functioning police and judiciary system. Unless you submit that we don't.
submit that we don't what, ma'am?
That we don't have a functioning police force.
We have a functioning
or
police
a
force.
judiciary.
We have a judiciary. But what we are dealing with here
You're
is crimes
contradicting your
committed
president,
14 years
Secretary.
ago to 2019. We're talking about a timeline, Your Honor, that we were not even here yet, and that it was very hard. Ma'am, may I continue?
Yes, carry on.
Well,
yes.
it was very difficult for us. We made our
No, the
commitments.
president made it very clear.
We
have
made our
a functioning-
commitments to the United Nations that we would investigate all of these crimes committed during the drug war. And it was not a very easy task, ma'am, because the people that we expect to be cooperating with us were not. So, although we're still doing our investigations on the EJ case, on the extrajudicial killings committed during that time,
Yes, I'm not reviewing the drug war. This is a Foreign Relations Committee hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
But in this statement, the president clearly means jurisdiction over individuals. It's very, very clear. There's no area for quibbling. And if you say there's jurisdiction over individuals, I don't believe that you are in agreement with your president. As a matter of fact, the ICC does not try countries, after all. They do try
Our
individuals,
views
however.
evolved during times, at times, and I don't
So you
know
do admit
if he
that
still
you-
has the same view up to today, because we are talking about a clip which was done 1.5 years ago. Our minds can change, ma'am. We cannot just stay in one rut and say that this is the absolute, because our minds may change, and we are allowed that by the law of man and the law of God.
Yes, of course. Of course, we all change our minds, and Mr. Secretary. So you are saying that the president changed his mind.
Well,
When did he
I
change
cannot
his
speak
mind?
for him, Madam. I cannot speak for him. Your conclusions are really your own, and I cannot adopt your conclusions here.
They're not my conclusions. It's a bold statement, which really...
Well, your
does not-
statements of belief are your own, ma'am. I cannot adapt to your statements of belief, but I will respect them.
The statement of the president is very, very clear-cut. I would like to show also a letter in December of 2023. Do we have it on hand? Can you enlarge it so that it's much clearer? Okay. On screen is a letter dated 15 December 2023 addressed to Vice President Sara Duterte, where the President says that the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Republic after the effectivity of its withdrawal is very much in question, and I'm certain that all the members will echo my views on the matter. Would you like to comment? Anyone would like to comment on the said letter? Is it correct that if this was in fact a work in progress, as stated by Secretary Remulla, as of 15 December 2023, all the secretaries and undersecretaries already holding such positions at that time also viewed the ICC as having no jurisdiction over the country, as stated by the President himself in the letter?
We did not assist the ICC, ma'am. We continued with the very tenor of the letter, that we did not assist the ICC. We never had contact with them.
We'll go
The
there.
investigation that they conducted was through their own methods, and we did not in any way assist them. As said in your letter, we cannot.
It's
we
not
did
my
not.
letter, sir, it's the President's.
It's a president's letter. We did not assist them.
I think that's not the question. My question is simply to say that as of that date, all those in the cabinet were in agreement with the President's statement. Is that correct, Secretary Teodoro? As of 15 December.
Ma'am, the President's statement is binding, and I defer to Secretary Remulla that we did not, that no government agency, the DND, never cooperated with the ICC as in accordance with the statement.
Okay, and are there any other secretaries who'd like to verify that? We have Director Anyo, Director General Anyo. I believe you are cabinet rank as well, and the NSC sits with the President. Is it correct to say that everyone maintained the same position?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. But we did not assist the ICC in their investigation.
I don't think at this juncture we're asking about assisting the ICC. All we're asking is whether, in fact, you all agree that the ICC had no jurisdiction.
I think, ma'am, what we're talking about here is if it's in the case of the former president, the case was committed while the Philippines is still a member of the ICC.
Okay. I don't know, is there anyone of cabinet rank as well? I'm certain that the DFA will probably hold the same position, that you were all in agreement with effectively your boss as his alter ego, that the ICC had no jurisdiction, as stated in the letter quite clearly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Yusek. Okay, and then in January of 2024, the President then said, let me say this for the 100th time. I think we've seen that clip before. Can we bring it back? Yes, for the 100th time, I do not recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC. The Philippine government will not lift a finger to help any investigation that the ICC conducts. So, at the risk of really belaboring the point, may I confirm is the DOJ, at least as of early last year, was of the stance that ICC had no jurisdiction and the Philippines would not lift a finger, in the words of the President.
ICC never had does not have jurisdiction over the Philippines, Your Honor. And we did not lift a finger to help them at all.
So we affirm that we never at any juncture lifted a finger.
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, I think the Secretary of Justice vehemently asserted the same during that time. May we have the PowerPoint, please? Are these your words, Secretary?
Yes. Those are my words.
Right. And there is no jurisdiction, and we have an inherent right to determine our own legal framework and address internal matters.
Yes, Your Honor.
So also there is an assertion that our justice system is robust and functional. Your words, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, 10 days later, after Secretary Remulla gave the above statement, on 20 February, there seems to be a slight yet significant change in the tone of the President's rhetoric when he said, I am not certain if we have the PowerPoint. Do we have a slide with the President? I don't approve or deny it, but you know the ICC, haven't done anything illegal. We will do something about it. We are an open country. Maybe clarified as to what the President meant, given that there seems to be a determined change in attitude, that in fact we are an open country. And until they do, they being ICC, do something illegal, wala siyang gagawin para hintuin sila. Parang naiba ang usapin.
I will have to ask what question was asked of the President before I make any response, because I do not know what context the President said those words.
I think it's not unclear. Hanggang may gawin sila na illegal. May I ask the PNP, the DFA, anong ibig sabihin if they do something illegal? Na nanghimasok sila, na may ginawa sila sa Pilipinas.
Maybe I can answer that better, ma'am. An example would be to take an oath of somebody within the Philippine legal system. They are not allowed to do that.
Okay, so until such time as they do something illegal, like requiring an oath of someone being entirely unauthorized as foreigners, is that your meaning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does this mean that the Philippine government was allowing the ICC to enter and investigate, provided they did not amount to any illegal action?
Nobody ever identified themselves as the ICC when they entered our country, if ever they entered our country. So we did not allow them, if that is the only meaning of your question, we did not allow them as we did not know any entry of any ICC person in the country.
The president's statement seems to suggest otherwise. We are an open country. So
Yes,
it
ma'am, but we
suggests
could not-
that there in fact were others coming through.
Well, we suppose that people were coming in and out of our borders. We have millions and millions of people entering our ports and airports. And
we
we
are
cannot
always-
ask all of them if they are related to the ICC or not. We cannot do that, ma'am.
Okay, perhaps we can call on Secretary Anyo. Did you have any information that, in fact, the ICC had resumed its investigation? Because clearly there is a pivot in the president's statement. Perhaps you can enlighten us?
Ma'am, as far as the NSC is concerned, we have not monitored any investigation conducted by the ICC inside the country.
So, at no point after the pre-trial chamber authorized the prosecutor to resume its investigation, did in fact resume its investigation in the Philippines?
We don't have any information that they conducted an investigation here, but probably in
Bakit
their own
nabanggit ng
base.
Pangulo na meron ng possibly illegal entry and that in fact they were welcome since we were an open country? Ano kaya ibig sabihin nun?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, may I refer to the DOJ, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. It's really important that we know the context by which the president gave the statement. If we do not know the question, we cannot understand the answer. I think that it's very basic, ma'am.
Yes, and we're all subject to the media. I just found this through the media. I am not aware of any specific or special context. My understanding is that it was an interview, as is usually given by public officials.
Yes, ma'am, but it's usually the context by which we are asked a question that we give an answer. So unless we hear the exact question that he was asked, we cannot give you a complete answer to this question, ma'am.
Perhaps this will be clearer. November 14, 2024, the president was quoted as saying, "If that's the wish of Duterte, we will not block the ICC. We will not just cooperate." I think this requires no context. It's pretty straightforward and direct.
Well, we also want to know his response to what stimulus, because if there's a question, we want to know. We still want to know the question.
Simply, he was asked if he approved of the presence of the ICC in the Philippines. There seemed to be some awareness in the public and in the media that the ICC was already here. So they asked the president, "What do you think?" And he said, "We will not block them. We will not just cooperate." There's clearly a change in tone and in order.
Well, if they have not violated any law, I don't think that we should be alarmed at anything that they're doing here, as long as they are not violating our laws.
What does not blocking the ICC mean? Non-cooperation, I think we mentioned that.
Still non-cooperation, because we never, up to now, had any communication with the ICC, officially or unofficially.
Again, I remind you of the president's statement earlier, "We'll not do anything about the ICC as long as they don't do anything illegal." Isn't this tantamount already to blocking the ICC and not cooperating?
Can you put the question into context, ma'am, please?
There is no context. It's simply that previously the president said that the government will not do anything about the ICC, like you commented on, unless they do something illegal in the Philippines. Is this not tantamount to blocking the ICC?
Well, blocking the ICC, we never knew that they were here. We cannot do something that we do not even know or identify the people who are supposed to be blocked. So I don't see the logic, ma'am.
No, it's a simple question, straightforward. As of November 14 last year, ang sinabi ng Pangulo, no blocking, pero no cooperation din. Tama?
Marahil, yun siguro ho, mas maganda hong Tagalogin natin, hindi tayo tutulong sa kanila. Hindi tayo tutulong. Hindi tayo hahadang, ngunit hindi tayo tutulong. Yung paghadlang kasi, wala
ng anuman investigasyon, pwera lang kapag illegal na ang ginagawa. Pero
nga ho yun.
Hindi rin tayo tutulong.
Ganun ho ang batas natin eh. Nanguhuli lang po tayo pag may ginawa ho mali. May ginawa ho paglabag sa batas.
Ang maliwanag dito, nag-umpisa na ang investigasyon. As of November nung nakaraan.
Hindi ko po masasabi yun. Kasi wala po akong contact, wala po akong alam na ganung hong usapin nung panahon na yun.
So ang ibig sabihin, hindi pa nag-uumpisa ang investigasyon, nagsasalita lang ang presidente ng kusa?
Depende nga ho sa tanong. Ang problema ho,
sa dating salita?
Ang problema ho, kung hindi natin alam ang tanong, paano natin malalaman kung paano ba niya sinagot yung tanong sa ganung paraan? Kaya kung pwede ho, ilagay niyo natin ilagay po natin sa talata yung tanong na tinanong kay Pangulo para malaman natin kung ano ang kanyang sinasabi. Kasi hindi ho eh. Ang ganitong salita po ay response po sa isang tanong. Kaya dapat yung tanong po sana iharap niyo po sa atin para buo ang pag-uusap. Tsaka sino po ang nagtanong? Anong pagkakataon niyo ang tinanong?
Ang media ang nagtanong at ang simpleng tanong, aprobado mo ba ang presensya ng ICC in the Philippines? I think the identity of the media is irrelevant. The question is, does he approve of the ICC in the Philippines? Ang sabi niya, simple lang naman, ay kapag walang illegal, talaga naman sasalubungin natin sa ating bansa pagkat tayo ay bukas at malaya.
Yun nga ho, tama ho yun. Yun ang sinabi niya. Talaga hong hanggang wala hong ginagawang illegal ang tao, ay pababayaan natin silang manatili sa tahimik.
Tama. Ngayon, ang ibig sabihin nito, nag-umpisa na ang ICC investigation. Maybe we ask Secretary Anyo, please. Bilang NSC, baka mas alam ninyo kung kailan nag-umpisa yung parating nila, yung pabalik-balik po nila.
Madam Chair, wala po kaming impormasyon. Hindi po kami aware na nagkaroon ng investigation dito ang ICC ng mga panahon na yan.
As of November noong nakaraang taon, wala pang ICC investigation anuman na nalalaman po ninyo?
Wala po kaming nalalamang investigation. At wala po kaming namomonitor na pumuntang ICC investigators.
So, ganun din ang ating Deputy DG Erico, si DG Guloy. Baka may maidagdag kayo. Dahil ang pagkaintindi namin, pag narinig mo, nabasa mo, simpleng pagkaintindi, sinabi na ni Presidente, hindi namin pagbabawalan. Ano kaya yun na pagbabawalan? Kung hindi pa nag-umpisa, bakit sinasabi niya, hindi ko pagbabawalan hanggang hindi illegal? Nakakapagtaka.
Ganon din po, Madam Chair. Wala rin po kaming informasyon at saka na-monitor na meron po ICC during that period, Madam Chair.
So ang Pangulong mag-isa ang nagsabi na hahayaan niya, pwera lang kapag illegal na ang gawain. Siya lang mag-isa ang nagsabi nun, ngunit kayo, wala naman kayong impormasyon na naibigay sa kanya tungkol doon.
Opo, Madam Chair. Wala po kaming impormasyon na ibigay kay Presidente po, Madam Chair.
Thank you. As we speak today, what is the stance of the executive? Does the ICC have jurisdiction over the crimes committed in the Philippines between November 2011 and March 19, 2019?
We just follow the Supreme Court's dictum in the case of Pangilinan Cayetano.
And that is?
That is, residual jurisdiction is there up to 1 year from the date of withdrawal of the Philippines.
up to 1 year, right?
Yes,
Should
Madam.
bring us to
March 1819. 2019.
2020.
2019.
2019.
Yes, ma'am.
So, pati yung residual jurisdiction na sinasabi po ninyo, hanggang 2019 na lang.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yun
wala
po
na
sabi
kayo.
ng Korte Suprema.
Tama.
Oh.
So, ngayon wala na. Maski residual jurisdiction, wala na rin.
Wala na po, wala na po.
Kasi 1 year lang eh.
Pero tandaan po natin, ma'am, na ang ICC sa buong mundo ay tinitingnan ang ginagawa ng mga individual na marahil ay nakakapanakit sa kapwa nila at gumagawa po ng pag-violate ng mga karapatan ng mga tao. Yun po yung tinitingnan po na ICC rito eh. Kaya ho, hindi po yan ang ating tinitingnan eh. Ang tinitingnan po natin talaga, ano ba talaga ang ICC? Ang ICC ay tinatag upang habulin yung mga mga individual na lumabag sa batas ng tao at sa batas ng Diyos. Yun ang pagkakaunawa ko.
Kung yung ICC may jurisdiction at hindi pa nag-umpisa ng anumang investigasyon nung nakaraang taon, nung Nobyembre, anong ibig sabihin ng presidente nung may pagbabago? Nung sinabi niya na hindi tayo hahadlang, pero hindi rin tayo magko-cooperate. Ba't niya sinabi yon? Biglang iba na ang tono, biglang nagbago. Kayo nga nagsabi, dapat talaga nagbabago ang palaisipan ng tao.
Ganun po talaga dapat ho, hindi natin itataga sa bato ang pwede ho maging hindi totoo.
Siyempre natututo tayo sa
Po,
habang
oo, natataldahan po tayo.
taon.
Oho.
Tama. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang Pangulo nagbago rin ang palaisipan.
Marahil po.
So, ang sa kanya, may jurisdiction na pala.
Hindi ko ho pwedeng sabihin ng state of mind niya.
Opo.
Pero sinasabi ko lang ho, bilang tao, lahat po tayo pwede magbago ang pag-iisip.
Hindi ko naman hinihingi yung state of mind po. Ang tinatanong ko lang, maliwanag naman yung statement na sinabi niya na pwede tayong magpapasok ng ICC sa ating bansa. Pwera lang kapag illegal ang ginagawa. Tama?
Hindi ho natin sinasabing imbitado sila rito. Hindi ho natin sinasabi na haharapin natin sila. Ngunit ang tao ho ay labas-pasok sa Pilipinas.
Pero
At
hindi
tayo
po
po ay mga being very hospitable people, we welcome all people who want to partake of the beauty of our country. Ayun po yung ating pinag-uusapan dito.
Pero hindi po ba yung mas maagang mga statement, yung mga unang statement, talagang hindi daw siya lalahok sa anumang investigasyon. Ngayon, hahayaan lang niya. Tama po.
Marahil po, marahil.
nagbago.
Sabi ko nga ho,
Nagbabago naman nga.
Nagbabago naman ang pagtingin natin lahat sa buhay. Hindi naman po ang pagtingin natin nung tayo 20 anyos at ngayon ay pareho pa rin.
Sana naman
na tumatanda rin po tayo. Natututo rin po tayo.
So do you mean to tell me that after saying 100 times that the ICC has no jurisdiction, the President at the 101st time changed his mind and determined that there was somehow some kind of jurisdiction that allowed them to come here and investigate?
I cannot comment on his state of mind when he said that.
I don't think it's a question of state of mind, sir. It's statements.
His statement would speak for itself.
When did the executive then change his mind, given that we are admitting he changed his mind, at least to some degree?
Well, I cannot agree to the... I mean, the question, ma'am, is very vague, if you ask me.
Hindi, nagbago, di ba? Nung una, sabi niya talagang haharangan niya.
Because
at
I cannot,
bawal,
as I said earlier, ma'am,
korte.
I
Tapos
cannot-
biglang sinabi na bukas ang Pilipinas. Kung nag-iimbestiga sila, papasukin. Pwera lang pag may ginagawang illegal o may krimen.
Again, I can say
Malaking
that
pagbabago po yun.
hindi ho ako pwede magkomento sa state of mind niya. Kung paano ho nag-iisip ang
Hindi ko
Pangulo,
naman
hindi pa ako
tinatanong kung
magkomento.
galit, wala naman akong tinatanong kung masaya. Yun ang state of mind. Ang tinatanong ko, dun sa sinabi, hindi ba maliwanag na nag-iba?
Sabi ko nga ho, lahat tayo nagbabago ng pag-iisip sa pagdaan po ng panahon.
Okay.
Tayo po ay natututo naman ng unti-unti at nauunawaan natin ng gusto ang
kaya
mga
nga.
pangyayari sa paligid natin.
Kung aaminin natin na nagbago ang pag-iisip, bakit? At kailan nagbago yung pag-iisip natin tungkol sa jurisdiction ng ICC? Bakit? At meron bang dahilan? Baka may alam ang DND, baka may alam ang NSC, para maintindihan natin kung saan na tayo ngayon. Kasi tayo ay nag-iimbestiga in aid of legislation. Gusto ko malaman saan ba tayo patungo. Ano na ba ngayon? Palibasa, eto nga, admitido natin, nagbago. Kung nagbago, saan na tayo ngayon?
Siguro po yung pag-unawa po ng ICC jurisdiction. Kasi nung nag-aapela pa tayo sa ICC, na sinasabi natin na hindi tayo saklaw dito, marahil yung isang paghising natin sa katotohanan na ang hinahabol ng ICC ay hindi naman bansa, ngunit individual. Marahil yun po yung pag-unawa na nagbago sa ating lahat. Kasi hindi naman po estado natin ang hinihimok ng ICC, kundi po yung mga individual dito na nagkasala at yung naging biktima po ng mga krimen at ng mga pamilya po ng mga biktima ng mga pagpatay ng panahon na yun. Okay.
At sabihin natin may limited cooperation sa ICC. Sabihin natin, nung 13 November, si ASEC ES Bersamin pala, ay nagsabi that if the ICC refers the process to Interpol, which may then transmit a red notice to the Philippines, the government will feel obliged to consider the red notice. Parang may ganon, may statement ba dyan? Yung kay ES Bersamin.
Alala ko po yung statement na yun.
Panaalala po niya.
Opo.
Oo. So, yung pagbabago ay malinaw kasi pati si Executive Secretary diniin na nagbago nga talaga. Tama po ba? Kasi sabi niya, kapag may pulang notisya.
Marahil dahil ito sa mga karanasan natin sa mga nakaraang buwan na tumutulong po ang Interpol sa ating bansa. Kaya ang paggalang natin sa Interpol ay ganun-ganun na lamang. Hindi po natin pinababayaan na magkasamaan ng loob sa Interpol sapagkat sila po ay ating inaasahan sa maraming pagkakataon.
Tama, talagang lumalahok tayo at umaasa sa Interpol. Ngayon, nung January, kayo po nagsalita at tatanungin ko kung tama po ba to. At sinabi na the Marcos administration ay uupo kasama na ng ICC. Talagang uupuan na natin to discuss certain areas of cooperation. So, hindi na no cooperation, no blocking, no limited. At tatalakayin ang ibang mga areas kung pwede, kung saan pwede makipagkaisa. Tama ba yun?
Hindi ko naalala yung statement.
January 2025 po, sinabi ninyo, uupo kayo kasama ng ICC. Para malaman doon sa kanilang investigasyon ukol sa libo-libong pagpapatay ng drug war ni Presidente Duterte. Sabi mo, ayon sa report, na yung cooperation with an international tribunal ay pinapayagan sa ating batas. At yung ICC representatives have been going in and out of the country without any of us raising anything. January 2025 po.
So ano ho yung tanong?
Ang sinasabi ko, what happened to the President's statement that the government will not lift a finger? And what happens to your own assertion that there will be no blocking but no cooperation? Ngayon, nakikipagtungo na tayo sa ICC.
Hindi, yun po yung sinasabi natin, nagiging bukas ang ating isipan, ngunit hindi po natin ginawa. Hindi po tayo nakiupo, hindi tayo nakipag-usap. Yun po yung malinaw sa lahat.
Pero handa kayo nun, ngunit hindi natuloy. Ganun po ba?
Marahil ho, kung meron hong tutulay, pero wala naman hong tumuloy eh. Kaya wala hong nangyari.
Pero meron rin kayong sinabi that the ICC representatives as of January 2025 have been going in and out. Labas-pasok sila sa ating bansa. Hinahayaan lang natin.
Hindi ko po hindi ko ho alam yung pagpasok at paglabas nila.
Meron po
wala akong kaalaman sa pagpasok at paglabas. Marahil sa kanilang pag-iimbestiga, labas-pasok sila rito. Ngunit wala akong nagsasabi sa akin na ICC po yung labas-pasok dito. Wala pong akong report sa immigration. Wala po akong report sa ating mga...
Kayo po nagsabi, kaya ako nalaman na may ICC representatives na labas-pasok dito sa ating bansa na hindi tayo umaalma, hindi tayo nagre-reklamo. Yun na ang pagkasabi po ninyo.
Sabi nga namin dati pa, kung wala ho silang nilalabag na batas, ay malaya po silang maglabas-pasok sa ating bansa. Katulad po ng kahit sino pang turista o sino pong nais bumisita sa ating bansa.
Iba po yung pakay ng turista, iba naman yata ang pakay ng kinatawan ng ICC. So, nag-iba na talaga. Sa bandang January ng 2025, hinayaan na natin sila na lumabas-pasok dito sa ating bansa. Ganun po ba?
Hindi po wala tayong hinahayaan, hindi lang ho tayo nagtatanong kung hindi natin tinatanong ang lahat ng labas-pasok dito kung sila po ay ICC.
Pero
Kasi nga sa dami po ng labas-pasok sa atin, hindi po natin tinatanong.
So hanggang Enero nitong taon talagang maliwanag na labas-pasok na yung mga ICC, ano?
Hindi ko po alam wala pa akong personal knowledge. I can only speak from personal knowledge.
Narito kasi sa Philippine Star at sinabi na I know that as anecdotally from people I know from the human rights community, they've been in contact here.
May mga nagkikwento po na may kausap silang ICC.
So alam po ninyo. Kasi sabi mo in-identify pa ninyo yung source. Sabi ninyo yung human rights people. Nagko-contact usap na. Di alam na ninyo na nandito na yung ICC.
Ay, hindi ko nalalaman kung nandun sila. Sinasabi lang nila may kausap sila. Hindi ko sinasabi ko saan sila nag-usap at paano. Pero, siyempre marami hong gustong tumulay. Ngunit hindi naman natin, hindi ho nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na makilala talaga namin na ICC o makaharap. Kahit kailan po hindi namin nakaharap ang ICC.
Pero alam ninyo na may galaw na sila at nag-iimbestiga na sila.
7 taon na po silang gumagalaw, ma'am. 7 taon na. Hindi naman ngayon lang yan 7 years ago, the ICC was already investigating what happened during the drug war.
What happened 7 years ago? Parang nahinto Bakit sinabi natin na hindi na tayo
yun lang po yung aking recollection kung kailan sila nagsimula. Na parang 2016 nga, baka 9 years ago pa. Sinimulan na po nilang bantayan ang ating drug watch, yung ating drug war, nung nagsimula po yung patayan.
Pero matibay ang ating kalooban, matibay ang paninindigan natin na hindi natin tutulungan at talagang tututulan natin pagkat meron tayong sariling pulis, may sarili tayong mga korte. Ang liwaliwanag nun.
Opo.
Bago lamang.
Meron po tayong panahon na binabantayan dito. May panahon po tayong binabantayan dito. 2016 hanggang 2019 ay doon po ang kainitan ng drug war. At ito po, ang dami lumalapit sa aming opisina, humihingi ng tulong na maimbestigahan yung magpatay kung kani-kanino lamang. Pero marami kaming talagang naging
Kailan pumunta sa opisina ninyo? Kasi binabanggit ninyo, hindi pa Marcos administration, yung 2016 to 2019. Kailan nag-umpisa?
Simula sila pumunta sa amin, 2022 na. So matagal na nakalipas ang mga krimen na nangyari.
Pero nung umpisa, ang sinasabi natin, paulit-ulit, talagang hindi tayo tutulong at hindi natin hahayaan sila manghimasok. Maybe we can ask Secretary Anyong, sorry, kumakain po kayo, violation na naman ng human rights po to. Pero kung maaari bilang pinuno ng National Security Council, baka may naalam kayo tungkol sa pivot. Kasi parang nag-iba Di nag-iba. Bakit nag-iba? Nung una, ang tindi ng ating paninindigan na hindi kailanman tayo tutulong sa ICC. Biglang lumambot, nahahayaan natin pag pumasok sila, tapos pagkatapos nun, meron ng statement, uupo tayo. Kung may mamamagitan, pag-uusapan kung saan tayo pwede tumulong. Meron ba kayong alam, Secretary Anyo? Kasi maraming nagsasabi na kayo daw ang dahilan kung bakit nagbago ang isipan ng ating administrasyon.
Madam Chair, palagay ko po ay walang basis po yung ganung klaseng allegation sapagkat ito po ay legal na usapan at hindi po kami nag-focus sa legal na usapan sapagkat ang sa amin po ay on the lens of national security. Tapos wala rin po kaming na-monitor na pumasok dito ng mga ICC investigators nung sinasabi ng mga panahon na yan.
So wala kayong alam tungkol sa pagbabago ng isipan at polisiya ng ating administrasyon?
Wala po, Madam Chair.
At hindi rin kayo kasama sa pagpaplano ng aresto ni former President Duterte?
Ma'am, meron po akong opening statement, pwede ko po bang basahin?
Siyempre, oo. In the meantime, if I may recognize the arrival of Senator Cayetano. Please proceed, Secretary.
Yes,
Ano,
ma'am.
please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, chaired by Senator Amy R. Marcos, for the opportunity to clarify the truth about what transpired during the arrest of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and other related matters. I believe this is also a good venue for me and my fellow officials to clarify what really happened and to debunk and dispel the false accusations and fake narratives that have misled the public about this issue. As government officials, it is our duty to be truthful and to assure the public that our actions were proper and in accordance with the law. I, for one, have been the victim of relentless disinformation campaign aimed at destroying the integrity and credibility I have carefully built over 4 decades of public service, which began the day I entered the hallowed halls of the Philippine Military Academy. While public officials are not supposed to be thin-skinned, I have rolled with the punches for several days. However, the time has come for me to air my side. Therefore, I am grateful for the opportunity to speak before the Senate and present the truth. As a former member of the cabinet of the Duterte administration, it is also very hard for me to see the former president arrested. I worked closely with former President Duterte for so many years through the most serious crisis the country faced, and we have developed and nurtured a personal friendship. He trusted and respected me in the same way I trusted and respected him, even after our terms ended in 2022. I retired from public service when former President Duterte ended his term. However, the repeated calls for public service came again, and 6 months after my retirement, I was appointed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to be his National Security Advisor. I saw my appointment as a continuation of my service to the Filipino people across different administrations. As a soldier, my loyalty has always been to the Constitution and the chain of command. This has always been my principle when I served as the Commanding General of the Philippine Army under President Noynoy Aquino, then as AP Chief of Staff, and later as Secretary of the Department of Interior and Local Government under President Duterte, and now as National Security Advisor under President Marcos Jr. In its position, I have held under several administrations. I have never played politics. I do not have a political agenda, nor do I have, or will I ever have, political ambitions. I uphold the same principle in my role as National Security Advisor and Director General of the National Security Council. Thus, I'd like to state for the record that my role was limited to the mandate of my office to assess that the situation does not escalate into a national security concern. The implementation of the ICC warrant is beyond my mandate, and I had no part in it. And may I also state for the record that I am not aware of any core group, nor am I a member of such group that allegedly planned and prepared for the arrest of former President Duterte. In fact, it was only on Tuesday morning, March 11, 2025, that I learned that there was already an Interpol red notice and that the ICC warrant of arrest would be served. There was also no intelligence operation. The former president's presence in Hong Kong, as well as his return to the country, was a public knowledge since it was heavily reported in both mainstream and social media. It is utterly unacceptable and unfair that my name is being dragged into an alleged grand conspiracy. I firmly deny any allegations of a grand conspiracy. In fact, the events in March 11 were spontaneous. As National Security Advisor, I was merely doing my job. However, I face all these accusations against my honor and integrity with firm resolve, knowing that I am on the side of the truth, and I was simply doing what I had to do. And in doing so, I upheld the truth, justice, and the rule of the law. Again, my loyalty is always to the country, to the Constitution, and not to any person. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Secretary Ed. Subalit sa kabila nito, nagsalita po ang ating mahal na Secretary John Vic na ang nagplano po rito, o yung pagkaintindi namin, ang nagplano ay kayo.
I would like
Secretary
to answer that.
Anyo, Secretary Gibo Chodoro, at ang pinangalan, ang Chief PNP, General Marbil. Parang apat yung pinangalanan sa isang interview ng ating Secretary ng DILG.
Can I answer that, ma'am?
Yes, please, you're recognized.
The question was, who planned this? I did not state in any way who planned it. The meeting was of executive privilege. It is a conversation between the president and the ones I mentioned. There was.
So what exactly did you say? Ano sinabi po ninyo?
They
Ang
asked me-
pagkaintindi namin, itong apat na pinangalanan, ang siyang nagplano.
Ma'am, we're already invoking
namin.
executive privilege in this matter.
Yes.
We're invoking executive privilege in this
Yes,
matter.
that's fine, but it's
Yes.
in the interview, and it's
Yes, ma'am.
public.
It goes as far as the interview, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
That's it.
I'd like to understand. I think your brother was trying
I
to
did not
explain
state in any
what he
way.
said in the interview, and I'm happy
They
to
asked
hear
me
it.
if I planned it. I said it was not me. There were other people in the room, but we did not discuss any plans of any arrest.
Saan nanggaling yung mga pangalan na ito?
Ma'am, that again is executive privilege. Ma'am, let
Pero
me explain, ma'am. Let me
nandun
explain
sa
first, ma'am.
interview po eh.
Yes, yes,
Ang
ma'am.
liwanag
Let
eh.
me explain first, ma'am. We were discussing rumors of an impending arrival
Parang
based on.
hindi yung ganun ang dating sa amin eh. Ang
That is
pagkaintindi
that is
namin,
the whole
apat na
truth,
plano.
ma'am. That is we were discussing rumors. Go ahead, ma'am.
Patugtog na lang natin para maintindihan ha.
What was and who was really on top of this? Kayo ho ba? Because during the press conference of the president, it was you and the president.
Yes.
So ikaw ho ba nagplano ng lahat ng ito?
Hindi naman, hindi naman. It was a group effort. Secretary Chidoro was there, Secretary Anyo was there too, and the president and I. So, hindi naman ako. Ako lang ang natira.
stand by that, ma'am.
Last man standing doon sa Malacanang.
I stand by that.
Kasi Secretary Chidoro was working out of his office.
Eh, napakaliwanag po ng sinabi
Yes, ma'am.
ninyo. Wala
Secretary
namang
Anyo, of
mapakiyaw-kiyaw
course,
dun sa
Special Police
sinabi.
Intelligence.
Yes, ma'am.
Patayin na muna natin. Pakaliwanag naman ang sabi ninyo, hindi ako mag-isa, kahit ako ang kasama ng presidente nung nagsalita
Yes, ma'am.
sa presscon, hindi ako mag-isa ang nagplano. Isang grupo kami. Tapos pinangalanan mo.
No, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo eh.
I state, ma'am, again, executive privilege, but ma'am,
Walang executive privilege kasi binunyag na ninyo
I
sa
must
TV.
state it very clear, as I stated very clear, that there was no mastermind. We were discussing mainly about what the president's statements were in Hong Kong, and it was based all on that statement, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo na hindi kayo mag-isa na nagplano, kundi isang
There was no
grupo.
planning, ma'am.
Pero yun ang sabi eh.
I said, hindi ako nagplano. Marami
May
kaming-
isang grupo na
ang
nagplano.
We were all talking about a rumor, ma'am, and that was all.
Rumor lang yon.
Yes, ma'am.
Group effort ang sabi mo eh. Ang tanong niya kung ikaw ang nagplano, tapos sabi mo,
There was no
hindi,
planning,
group
ma'am.
effort.
There was no planning, ma'am.
Anong
Earlier-
in-effort ng group
Ma'am,
kapag hindi
let
plano?
me make
I think that including into executive privilege already, ma'am. I think that we please
No, I'm
respect
just
our.
asking him to explain the media.
Yes, ma'am. But
Just
it's already
I'm
a very thin
confining-
dividing line between what transpires in a room between
I will-
cabinet members
I will-
and a media statement. But there's a very thin dividing line, ma'am.
Understood.
I hope that we can respect executive privilege.
Understood, and the Senate and the Secretary Chodoro is fully aware. Every time there's a need to recess to executive session, I'm happy to do so, and I will do so when necessary. Pero ngayon, sinabi kasi sa TV, paliwanag naman ninyo sa atin kung ano ibig sabihin. Kasi ang sinabi, hindi ako mag-isa na nagplano, may grupo kami.
They asked me if I had planned it. Sabi ko, I did not. I did not plan it. I said we were there, and not to skirt, ma'am, executive privilege. It was mainly because of the statements of the former president in Hong Kong that he said, in his words, ma'am, in Hong Kong, that, I think you have a clip, he said that, ang reading ko ay may ICC warrant of arrest na. That was the best of my recollection, ma'am.
So anong pinag-group effortan? Anong
To
diniscuss
discuss the rumor,
ng
ma'am.
grupo na
That again,
pinangalanan nyo?
ma'am, as far as I will invoke executive privilege, there was no, you cannot plan on a rumor, ma'am.
Kaya nagtataka
So,
ako,
again,
bakit
ma'am,
group effort? Chismis lang naman yun.
Chismis nga. Ayun
Kaya nga,
yun.
kung chismis, bakit mag-group effort pa? Tapos pinangalanan mo
Ma'am,
pa lahat na
maraming
nagpag-group
marites sa
effort.
mundo to, ma'am.
Dabis naman yung marites, dami-daming
It
marites
was a
sa amin.
discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
Nakakatuwa lang dahil chismis lang pala eh. Bakit sesentensyahan yung tao sa base ng chismis?
It was a discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
So you deny that you're part and parcel of the planning and that the other persons you named, hindi rin sila kasali dun sa pagpaplano?
Again, ma'am, we were discussing the statement of the former president while he was in Hong Kong, that he said that there was he said, in his words, ang reading ko ay may warrant of arrest na ako. So that was the only basis of the conversation, ma'am.
So ito yung group effort ninyo?
Yes, ma'am.
Pinagtulong-tulungan ninyo yung isang bahagyang chismis?
It was, ma'am, all of that is, again, the statement of the former president, not ours.
Okay, so walang kinalaman to. Pero para lamang sa kaprasong chismis, magtitipon-tipon pa yung mga sekretary ng kabinete. Nakakatuwa naman.
Call it what you may, ma'am.
Walang magawa. Opo, anyway, nabanggit na paulit-ulit itong Interpol, ano? At nabanggit na ng SOJ. At alam naman natin,
Ma'am,
yes
if
po.
I may, since
Yes,
our
Secretary
name
Teodoro,
was,
please. Kasi kasali kayo eh.
alluded to, the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines has no law enforcement mandate. Our sole mandate is to give support to the Philippine National Police when it is asked for. And therefore, such ends our jurisdiction. The operation is clearly a law enforcement one, and the Philippine National Police has the power to ask the armed forces to assist. And that is the extent of the participation of my department and the armed forces of the Philippines. And all other matters in supporting the Philippine National Police are covered by operational security.
Tama po. Kaya hindi talaga chismis lang to. Meron talagang natanggap. At sinabi rin sa isang interview, alas 3 ng umaga, natanggap na yung notice of arrest nung Martes, March 11. Sinabi naman ni Secretary Remulla na si PNP General Marbil nakatanggap ng notice of arrest warrant alas 3 ng umaga ng Martes at sinabihan ang Pangulo ng alas 6. Nabasa niya na nga sa alas 6 ng umaga.
I
So,
stand by
ibig
that,
sabihin, hindi po chismis to. Meron ng notice of arrest warrant.
You're
Totoo na
talking
siya.
about two different days, ma'am.
Okay.
March 10.
Sige, clarify
was-
po ninyo
March
para
10
maintindihan namin.
was conjecture.
March 10,
was
chismis pa lang
conjecture.
yun.
Yes, ma'am.
Dala nung salita galing sa Hong Kong.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
March
Tapos,
11 was a formalized transmission
Okay.
by the ICC towards Interpol, and that was the first knowledge that this administration had of the presence of a action by the ICC directed towards Interpol, and that was the only formal knowledge that we had.
So, andun lang. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang gobyerno hindi tumulong sa ICC sa application ng warrant. Nagulat kayo na dumating na lang yung dokumento.
Yes, ma'am.
Wala kayong kaalam-alam or
None, ma'am.
paghihingi?
None whatsoever, ma'am.
None whatsoever. Ganon din yung SOJ, pati yung SND. Wala kayong balita, wala kayong hinikayat, wala kayong pakikiusap na ilabas na yan sa lalong madaling panahon.
Wala po ako rito noon eh. Nasa Vienna po ako. Ma-attend po ako ng United Nations meeting sa Drugs and Crime, UNODC.
Yung March 10 o yung 11 po?
Parehong araw po, wala po ako rito. Ngunit nakikipag-usap ako sa telepono na tinatanong ko yung nangyayari dito sapagkat ang Department of Justice ay involved syempre sa bawat proseso. At kinakausap ko po yung mga pwede kong kausapin tungkol dito.
Okay, so wala kayo dito pero kayo nag-anunsyo at lumabas sa balita na alas 3 ng umaga pa lang ng Martes andyan na yung notice of warrant.
It was me, ma'am. It was
Ikaw
me.
ba? Ibang
It was
Remulla
me.
yun. Baka
It was
na-confuse
me who
pati
confirmed,
media.
ma'am.
Po.
It was me who confirmed during the press conference of March, on Tuesday, March 11, I think, that when the president asked me on when the notice of diffusion arrived, and I stated it was 3 a.m.
Salamat. Okay. Si General Marbil, may idadagdag po kayo. Kayo daw ang nakatanggap eh.
Mama, natanggap ko po yun ay more or less after ng 3 o'clock. So, usually, ito po talaga ginagawa namin. Pagka meron pong request ang PCTC Interpol, we act po dun sa kanila po. Kung ano po yung request ng PCTC Interpol.
Maraming salamat, General Marbil. At Interpol ang binabanggit na natin ngayon. Ano? So, yung Interpol, ang Pilipinas ay isa sa founding member. Isa tayo sa nanguna sa pagtatatag ng Interpol noong 1952. Interpol's purpose is to facilitate cooperation and assist member nations. No? So, crime information, sharing, investigative support, specialized training, transnational crimes in particular are the focus of this agency. And this comprise terrorism, cybercrime, organized crime, financial crime, and anti-corruption. And to ensure that it is not used for persecution, in its constitution, the Interpol has Article 3, providing that it's strictly forbidden for the organization to undertake any intervention or activities of a political, military, religious or racial character. So maliwanag yan sa Interpol, hindi sila manghihimasok sa politika at sa domestic affairs ng isang bansa. Ngayon, eto na yung press con ng ating Pangulo noong March 11 ng 2025 at sinabi niya, andito yata yan, it's a request of the Philippine government from Interpol. And to enforce the arrest warrant, and of course we comply with our commitments to Interpol. We did not do this because it was derived or it came from ICC, but rather from Interpol. Because they asked us, we have commitments to them, we live up to those commitments. I don't think we violated the country's sovereignty. Bakit naman? Dahil consistent naman tayo, hindi tayo tumutulong sa investigasyon ng ICC. Wala tayong meron contact, pero not on an official level. We did not help them in any way. The arrest we did today was in compliance. Ayan, mabasa ninyo. Was in compliance with the commitment to Interpol at hindi yung ICC. Hindi natin kinakausap ang ICC, marami silang hinihingi sa atin ng mga dokumento, wala kaming binibigay, yun lamang hindi natin mahindian ang Interpol. So kung may duda sa ating pakikibahagi sa ICC, ang sinasabi ng Pangulo, ang ating commitment, obligasyon sa Interpol ay maliwanag at walang duda. So, ang sinasabi natin, kailan ba natanggap ng gobyerno na yung ICC naglabas na ng warrant of arrest laban kay Presidente PRRD?
At alas 3 nga ng umaga. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko ngayon.
So, hindi...
March 11.
No inkling before. May marites lang. Sabi
Marites lang po. Marami hong... ilang taon na po yung sinasabi na may lalabas na warrant of arrest. Ngunit ngayon lang ho talaga lumabas. March 11, alas 3 ng umaga.
So hanggang sa March 11 ng alas 3, na tulad ng sinabi ni General Marbil, natanggap ninyo nung umaga, ay wala kayo ka-idea.
The only information we got was the words of the former president in Hong Kong.
Sa Hong Kong?
Sa Hong Kong, ma'am.
Na andyan na?
Yes, ma'am.
Siya pang nauna, hindi kayo?
Yes, ma'am.
Nakatuwa, no? Anyway, hindi ba March 8 pa lamang, marami na ring chismis na magkakaroon ng arrest warrant. In fact, the following day, mismo yung Palasyo, Malacanang, sinabi na may mga haka-haka na ganun nga, lalabas na, and the government is prepared for any eventuality. Bakit nasabi yun kung wala pang hawak na notice or kopya? March 8 pa lang to, nagsalita na yung Malacanang. Ibig sabihin, andun na.
Ma'am, the government is prepared for any eventuality at all times. That is the nature of our job. We will always be prepared. We will always be on hand to enforce any of these laws, ma'am.
So it does not mean na yung executive o yung palasyo may nalalaman tungkol sa warrant
Ma'am,
of arrest.
no one knew, ma'am.
Walang may
Again,
alam.
I repeat, ma'am,
as of March
categorically, no one knew until 3 o'clock of March 11.
3 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Sa umaga. Nung March 9, ang ating USEC sa PCO sabi, if Interpol hihingi ng assistance galing sa gobyerno, tutulungan. So why was Interpol already being mentioned and being bandied about as early as March 8, March 9, kahit wala pang notice, wala pang red notice, wala miski ano?
Ma'am, maybe in context, sabi ko nga, marami ho naging pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin, kaya hindi natin nalilimutan. Isang example po dyan ay yung paghuli po kay Alice Go sa Indonesia, at marami pa ho yung mga ibang pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin.
Ba't alam na ng palasyo that Interpol will be involved if at that time there was no confirmation or receipt of any warrant? Bakit nagsasalita na ang palasyo, nagsasalita na yung PCO, sinasabi na huwag kayo mag-alala, handa tayo sa anumang mangyari, bakit nagre-reassure na ang palasyo?
Ano ho kasi yan?
Parang pinapanatag.
Ang mekanismo po kasi ng International Tribunal, katulad po ng ICC, ay lumapit po sa Interpol upang ipamahagi o upang iserve ang warrant kasi wala po sila sariling kapulisan ang ICC.
So,
kaya
alam na
umaasa
ninyo,
rin po sila sa Interpol.
Tama. So, ang executive, alam na ninyo na ang Interpol ang gagamitin. Hindi sa wala tayo.
Ay, ano po yun eh, logical lang po yun. It's logic that Interpol will be the one used as they were the ones used in the past already.
Alam naman natin na gagamitin ng Interpol, pero hindi naman laging Interpol ang ginagamit ng ICC.
Hindi ko po alam yung iba.
Paano natin
Ang alam
alam?
ko lang ho, Interpol talaga.
Ang alam natin, iba-iba, di ba, sa history ng ICC. Kaya nagtataka ako, ba't ang aga-aga, March 8, alam na natin Interpol ang magbibigay ng warrant.
Marahil ho kasi ang Interpol may opisina rin po sila sa sa Paris tsaka sa Hague. Kaya nag-uusap-usap po lahat 'yan. Yung Eurojust, Europol, ICC, ICJ, isang lugar lang po 'yan sa The Hague.
Oo, alam natin, pero iba-ibang pamamaraan ang ginagamit ng ICC para hulihin, dakipin, at mag-serve ng warrant. So, ang sinasabi natin, siguro sina General Marbil, pagkat sila naman ang nakatanggap nito, walang contact or coordination sa ICC or Interpol bago March 11. Bago March 11, yung alas 3 ng umaga, na sinasabi po ninyo, talagang wala kayong ka-idea, walang notice, walang timbre, walang tawag, walang kaalam-alam ang Pilipinas tungkol dito.
Ma'am, can I answer that, ma'am?
Si General Marbil ang